Hi, we're at the fire station. We're learning about fire safety.
Why did you decide to become a firefighter?
Well, I think all the firefighters really have a desire to help people. We all come from Malden. We want to help and give back to the community. In my particular case, my father was a fireman, and I had a few cousins that were Malden firemen. And I remember growing up, always looking up to my dad and stuff, and saw what he did for the community. So when I got a little bit older, I decided to take the test, and it was the best decision I ever did. Probably the greatest job in the world, being a firefighter. I'm sure all the other guys would say the same thing. To give back to the community and to help people when they really need help gives you a real sense of satisfaction.
What kind of training do you get?
Well, all the firefighters have to go to the fire academy. Fire academy lasts approximately 4 months. It's out in Stowe, Massachusetts. That kind of training, they teach them about how to fight fires, how to save lives, how to get people out of trapped cars. Pretty intensive training. It's a lot more to it than a lot of people might realize. We have an old saying in the fire department, we put the wet stuff on the red stuff, but it's a little more complicated than that, and there's quite a bit of science involved. So the training is pretty in-depth. It's 4 months. Then they come back to Malden, we put them on the fire trucks, and we continue to train every single day on new innovations, new type of problems out there, and different areas of ways we can help the public.
How long have you been a deputy?
I've been a deputy chief a little over 19 years. I've been on the fire department for 30 years and in Malden.
How long does it take you to respond to a fire? Do you have to get dressed quickly?
Well, part of the job we do is to get to an emergency as fast as possible, make sure we have the proper equipment on it. So the guys slide the poles.
Firefighting is labor intensive. I mean, it's hard work, it's physical work. When you get to the fire, you're breaking in a door, you're climbing up the ladder, you're pulling a hose line upstairs. You have to stay in some type of shape.
Yeah.
You're dragging somebody out, whatever. And he looks relatively comfortable, but that's a lot of weight to be working with. If you just want to feel this a little bit. Want to feel it? I'll let you feel them. I never weighed it myself, but it gets cumbersome on your neck if you're not used to it.
All this stuff? Yeah. I'm not sure. I think he probably has about 40 to 50 pounds on that back. Looks good.
Yeah, right, Steve.
What do you put about 200 gallons a minute? On each 3/4? That is what they actually put the fires on with, these nozzles here. They take these hoses, they put them over their shoulder, and drag them into fire.
So we have 1,000 feet of this. So we take this off, we wrap it around the fire hydrant, and then we safely, on the radio, tell the driver, okay, go. He's driving, he takes away, and that just flaps off, flaps off, flaps off. And there's these couplets in. Every hose comes apart. So we take it apart up there, and then hook it up to the fire. And this part is hooked up to the hydrant.
So we're pretty fast. There's certain sections of the city that takes a little bit longer, but I'd say our response time anywhere in the city is probably around 3 minutes.
What kind of equipment do you carry to a fire?
Well, all the firefighters, before they go into a fire, have to have all their fire gear on, and they have what's called an SCBA, which means self-contained breathing apparatus. That's that tank you see on their back. That actually is outside air, it's filtered, and that'll last about 30 minutes. So when they get to the fire, they have all their fire gear on. They have, all of them have a portable radio with emergency switches on it, and they're ready to grab the hoses and go inside and fight the fires.
I was saying earlier, you see we get the lights, there's the gauge, and this is also an emergency button here, there's an alarm that will go off. If you're in trouble, you can hit that. If he doesn't move for a period of time, the pack will start to go into alarm. So if he's stuck or passed out or whatever, injured in some way, we'll be able to find him that way. If he was in trouble, we can take a larger compressed air bottle in with him to rescue him and plug into this. If he's caught up in some wires or something, we need some time to extricate him, we can plug into this and have him breathe off that other tank.
How many times does a fire alarm go off during the week?
Well, in Malden, we have approximately 8,000 to 8,500 emergency calls a year. If you average that out, it's about 23, 24 calls a day for help in the city.
How many fire trucks do you have?
Presently in Malden, we have 3 engines, which is an engine right behind me here, but we have 2 ladder trucks. We have a deputy chief that responds to all the fires. We used to have a few other fire trucks a few years ago, but right now we're just running 3 engines, 2 ladder trucks, and a deputy chief's car. This puts the water on the fire, and to put the water on the fire, this carries 750 gallons.
Oh my.
But that doesn't last very long, because these hoses will put out 200 gallons a minute.
Do the firemen sleep at the fire station to respond to overnight fires?
Well, the firemen work on a 24-hour basis, so they're always here. They have to be here 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They have rooms upstairs, but most of the day they're doing training or going to calls. We are a very busy fire department.
What are some of the things people can do to prevent fires?
Well, I've been on the job a long time, and the most common cause of fires when I came on was unattended cooking. People would forget when they had a pan on the stove. Today, 30 years later, it's still unattended cooking. So people should always be aware that when they have something on the stove, don't leave the room.
Who does the cooking at the station?
Oh, we got a bunch of guys, and they're all pretty good cooks. Some of these guys have actually been to school. So once you're a firefighter, you do live in the fire station. So we cook for each other, we go do some shopping. One of the guys or a couple of the guys will get together, they'll decide what kind of menu they want.
I'm Steven.
Hi, Stephen. I'm Bob. Nice to meet you.
How's your ladder truck doing?
My ladder truck is doing pretty well. It's well taken care of. It's a 100-foot ladder on top of a truck that we can drive up to a building and put it up. It'll go up to about the 8th story on a building.
Wow.
And we have a lot of ladders in the back if you'd like to take a look at them.
Okay.
We call them ground ladders. They're like a ladder you might have at your house.
Yeah.
We have an 18-foot roof ladder to put on top of a roof.
Yeah.
And this is a big one. It's a 45-foot ladder.
Oh, wow.
It takes 6 men to put that up. It weighs
wow.
about 400 pounds.
That's good.
And over here are the controls to put the ladders, the big ladder up.
Yes.
And we have hooks for pulling down the ceiling so we
Yeah.
can find the fire when it's up above the ceiling, so we can find it all and put it out.
That's
If
good.
we're going to squirt water on a big fire,
Yeah.
we hook the water up to this. It goes up a pipe and comes out. You've probably seen that on TV.
Yeah, so down.
Comes out on the top of the ladder. These are the jaws, and these are cutters back here. You can't really see them. That's what we use to, if somebody's in a bad car accident and the car is wrapped around them, we use that to cut the car off of
Oh,
them.
wow.
So
Thank you.
you're welcome. And thanks for coming by.
You too.
Thank you.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thank you for coming by. Hope you come by again.
I hope I
you
do
guys
too.
learned something. It was an enjoyable experience.
My name is Karen.
Hey, Karen.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
That's good.
So you got a 100-foot aerial on top.
Wow.
We got ladders on the sides, and we have ladders inside the truck. Carry 35s and a 45 in here.
Wow, that's a biggie.
But when we get in the building, sometimes the fire's trapped in hidden places, like in the ceiling or in the walls. So they have axes and hooks to break through the walls, and they have long hooks like this so you can actually reach hard to get areas. And here's one of the longer hooks, and we can even reach this high ceiling. And we'll break through and pull a big hole, expose a big area, and if there's any trapped fire up there, we're able to access it that way. So those are some of the tools that you need, and these are one of the specialties that we have.
Wow.
So that's how we fight them up in the ceiling. Yep. And there's different sizes and shapes. This one's a little shorter. This one we can pull on the wall or get a lower ceiling. You know, you don't need them all to be that length. We won't get them in on smaller buildings, but.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go from one partisan to another.
To a partisan. I'm with Ablevision. Got some questions I want to ask you about the restaurant. How you like your new restaurant?
Well, it's a lot of work, and I'll tell you, you have to be there every day, and I'm there every night, making sure all the food is the best we can do, and people having an enjoyable experience. I've been a fireman a long time. I think I'd rather fight a fire any day than run a restaurant. It's always something going on there. But the enjoyable thing is I get to meet a lot of people. You know, it's a great place to eat and socialize. There are a lot of great people keeping coming back. Hope some of you guys come down sometime, and be my pleasure to serve you lunch or dinner. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of work though.
Good. What kind of food you serve
Well,
at
we have all-
the place?
We have all Italian food. It's all homemade. We make homemade soups, homemade desserts, homemade raviolis, and it's pretty much Italian. But if you come in with something, we'll make anything you want.
You got any like gluten-free and stuff like that?
We do gluten-free stuff. I'd say if you wanted to be going for dietary stuff, forget my place. We serve a lot of food. It's really good stuff. But pretty much anything you want, we'll try to make it for you.
Hey,